All right, gentlemen, been through the rules in the locker room. I want you to obey my commands at all times. I want you to protect yourselves at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Back to your corners.
Whew. Khamzat Chimaev has begun to receive more and more attention from the media and fans. Every day is a new potential fight for him. According to Borz, Colby refuses to go into the cage with him under the pretext of litigation, and therefore Alex Pereira may become Chimaev's next opponent. Hello fighters, with you MMA Predictions channel. In this video, I will give a prediction for the fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Alexam Pereira. But before starting this video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like it so that as many people as possible will notice this video. Now, Khamzat Chimaev is the most popular person in the entire MMA space. His every action is discussed by millions of people around the world. Now he is looking for his next opponent. He has plenty of options. Colby refuses to fight. Okay, there is the same Gilbert Burns or Alex Pereira. Now Chimaev is twittering with Pereira. Most likely they know a little more than now and are promoting a potential fight between themselves. It is not yet clear about the weight category. Alex claims that he will not be able to have time to reduce the weight to middleweight in the near future, and therefore offers a fight for a category higher, that is, in light heavyweight. But Chimaev, as I think, is not interested in this, since recently he competed in welterweight and immediately fought 2 weights higher. Most likely, this is the case that is being discussed now. This fight can potentially be a very high-profile event, as 2 UFC superstars take part in it at once. Khamzat Chimaev abruptly broke into the main promotion of the world, and to date has won the heart of fans. Alex Pereira came from kickboxing, had 8 professional fights, and became the UFC middleweight champion. Most likely, this fight is planned for a numbered tournament in Brazil, since such a confrontation will greatly raise the hype. Brazilians versus Chechens. I am sure such headlines will color a lot of sites and posters. But we are here to discuss this fight, to decide who has the best skills and who will be able to surprise in this fight. Well, let's not pull the cat by the tail and start the direct analysis. Percussion style. Let's start with the representative of Brazil and his striking technique. I think it's no secret that Pereira came from kickboxing, where he defeated many elite strikers, and now has retrained in MMA, where he is one of the best middleweight strikers. He has killed every fighter that the main promotion of the world has provided him with. And after such spectacular performances, he gets a title fight with one of the best representatives of striking technique. But it was not a problem for him. He was able to knock out Israel Adesanya, just like he did in kickboxing. He took the title and knocked out the title of undisputed champion. At the moment, Alex Pereira's striking technique is a dangerous thing, and the only one who can counter it is Izzy, and that's it. I don't see any other options. Now let's move on to Chimaev's punch, and it is immediately clear that he does not intend to flirt in this aspect, since he mainly prefers wrestling. And in terms of striking technique, he can show a good knockout. He knows how to knock it out. He knows how not to take it away. Ikram Al-Sakharov, Gerald Meerschaert, and other representatives of MMA fell at the hands of a greyhound. If Khamzat wants to test his skills in the standing position, then a fight against Alex is a very bad idea. Pereira can catch the Chechen on some counteraction. And that's it until the hype. Chimaev, I am 100% sure, will not be able to compete with such a representative of striking technique as Alex. The most that the Greyhound can hope for is an occasional lucky punch, which will fall exactly on the chin of Pereira. In this case, Chimaev can show himself from the best side. This happened in Khamzat's career, when he knocked out Al-Sakharov. If you look at the statistics, then it was Ikram who was better in the strike. I think you know the favorite in the strike. Pereira, as I said above, is simply better than Khamzat in this aspect and will not allow the Chechen to do anything significant in the standing position. Playing from the bottom. Now let's move on to the point at the expense of which Khamzat Chimaev is able to destroy Pereira. As we all know very well, it will not be a secret to anyone. What I will say now is that Khamzat has been learning the basics of freestyle wrestling since early childhood and subsequently transferred this style to MMA, where no one can resist it. Everyone breaks down when Khamzat passes into the legs or starts his killer grand and pound. Khamzat is really a beast in wrestling. Look at his last fight against Holland. So no one has fought him yet. Yes, he lost to wrestlers, but clearly not in this style. He rebuffed them. But Chimaev, as you could see for yourself, he could not do anything. In the same way, in all Khamzat's fights, the transfer and the dominant beating, only Gilbert Burns was able to stop the onslaught of the Greyhound and give him the very rebuff, and the rest of the welterweight and middleweight representatives could not oppose the Chechen fight. And so we got close to the Brazilian immediately after winning the belt. There was talk that the belt would start to go from hand to hand due to the fact that Alex is almost zero in this regard. In a way, they are right. Look at his professional record. You can see only strikers. There was not a single worthwhile wrestler in his career. And therefore, as I think, Pereira breaks down about this fight, since it's a big risk for him. He recently won better than a middleweight fighter and took the belt, and at one point he can lose both the title and show the fans that that victory over Izzy was an accident. In reality, Marvin Vettori, Derek Brunson, and the same Whitaker can turn on the wrestler and destroy Alex. As a result, Khamzat Chimaev will be considered the wildest favorites in the fight. Cardio spirit. In terms of stamina, Pereira showed in the last fight that the 5-round distance will not be any difficulties for him. Before the fight with Israel, everyone, including me, said that it would not be a problem for the then champion to drag the Brazilian into deep waters and drown him there. But it turned out to be completely different. Glover tightened Alex's endurance so much that now 25 minutes is not a problem for him. All the fans realized that now he can competently distribute his forces and will not waste his energy. Now let's move on to Chimaev's gas tank, and there's a lot to talk about it. Khamzat and Pereira have almost a similar record in MMA, but Borz has not yet tried his hand at 5-round fights, so it is silly to say that Khamzat has more experience. The Brazilian has shown his abilities, but the Chechen has not yet. Alex Pereira will be considered the favorites in endurance. From the last match, we understood that the Brazilian can really go such a distance. In terms of spirit, I will put it equally, because both have shown that they never give up and always go forward. Chimaev showed this in the fight against Burns, and Pereira against Adesanya. Forecast. My prediction will be accurate and unambiguous. Chimaev will most likely not immediately fly for a transfer. He will feed the Brazilian with decoys and then start the main work. That is, a shot and a hard grand and pound.